Hello everyone. Today on this lecture we discuss about the incidence rate and the prevalence. So in epidemiology, the two parameter which is required, that is the incidence rate and the prevalence. By this parameter we can measure the frequency, the rate of disease and the cause and how the disease pathogenesis occurs in the community. So that all discussed in this lecture. So first we see what is incidence rate. So incidence rate, it is the refers to the number of new cases. So number of new cases in a specific population. You are talking in a community or in epidemiology. So some specific population is there. So specific population during a time period. So you are supposed to calculating number of cases in per year, in an area per year. So there is a time period is there. So the formula is number of new cases as is written in the numerator, and the denominator is the total number of populations, that will be multiplied with 1000. Okay, so we are taking as 1000. Suppose suppose in a population, in an area, we are talking we are taking an example. So in an area that to 10 population people are there, that is the total population of an area. So we are calculating about the number of mouth cancer that is found in the male. We are finding about the number of cases of mouth cancer. So new cases, those were found. So these are the four people. They are the part of this populations. But now they have increased they are in disease condition. Okay. So these are the four people, and the denominator is the total number of populations. So they are the new cases. Now they are detected as a non-mouth cancer. There are cases detected with mouth cancer. So these four people out of total population, that is 10. So 4 divided by 10 and you are multiply with is 1000. So the result will be 400. So that is the rate. That is the rate of the number of mouth cancer that is per year in that area. Okay. So what are the three components in this incidence rate? We keep in mind three things. One is the incidence rate, that is the numerator. Another is the people at risk, that is the denominator. And the one thing, that is the interval of time. So we are calculating 1 year for a duration is there. So three are the components of incidence rate. So if the incidence rate, always it is explained, is expressed in the form of a rate. Okay, and what and this is also known as a motion picture, because we are taking as a motion picture for a for a duration. It will be 1 year or a certain specific duration is there. So it is called a motion picture. And this, by knowing this incidence rate, what we will get is provide a clue for what is the cause and the development of the disease. So the risk factor, we will know about the risk factor, what are the risk factor, and what is the etiology and the development pathogenesis of the disease, and that will be how it is helpful. So we will know about what is happening in the population, what is going on the population, what is the disease is going to be what is the disease is going to be happening, and what is the cause of the disease, and also how rapidly disease is going to be spread. So these three answer will be get after knowing this incidence rate. Next to the prevalence rate. So the prevalence, it is refers to the number of existing case. So one thing, that is number of existing case. Existing means that is the plus we have taken the incidence, the new cases plus the old cases. So both were added and the the total group is called existing. So the number of existing cases of the disease in a specific population at a point time. So that is the important thing. It's a point time. For a flash, you are taking as a still photo. So here taking as a point time. So the formula will be the number of existing cases. So the existing means both we're taking the summation of old case and the new case by the total number of population. That is the population that will be constant, and that will be multiplied with 100, because it is a proportion. So we will get the answer in a form of percentage. So there is multiplying about 100 is multiplied here. So that is the big difference between the incidence and the prevalence. because in incidence there is multiply by 1000, but in prevalence here we are multiplying it with 100 because we are getting the result in the percentage form. Suppose then take an example in a population, then now the new cases we are searching about the prevalence of diabetes mellitus. So where in a population FEM, that is 10 total population is 10 people, and there is new cases is detected the diabetes mellitus, new cases that is 4, but still there are also present in the population there is already old cases like diabetes mellitus are present. They are not taking such a they are not they are still active in the, and that are detected in the first few months they have detected. So we take them the old case and the new case, now you will detect that's the new case. So now you tell the existing case will be what? New cases plus old cases. So 4 plus 3, so that will be 7. So the 4 plus 3 by 100, that is by 10, that is the population, and multiply with 100. So the result will be 7 by 10, and multiply with 100, the result will be 70. That will be answered in percentage form, that is the prevalence of diabetes mellitus in an area. Okay, so what are here 3 components we keep in mind. One is the existing case, another is the population at risk to have the condition, and also risk and have the condition, they have the disease, and at the potential the point time, here we are going to take a picture of a still picture, we are taking as a still picture, or you are taking as a group photo of an area. So it is a point time, we are calculating over a point time. So what will be, it gives a still picture or a group photo, and this provide, by knowing this prevalence what we will get, we understand the demand of health service, which type of health service would be provided for the community, and that will be give the answer of what is the burden of the disease. So burden of the disease, that can be that answer we can get by knowing the prevalence. Let's see the relationship between the incidence and the prevalence. So this is a bathtub, okay, and this bathtub, we consider this bathtub as a community, and in community I have already, there is this much of level of population, that is explaining about the prevalence, this is explaining about the prevalence of that bathtub, and this is the outlet through which water will be come out. So here in a community, so the people may be either by death or by cured, they will be go from the outlet. So those who were cured, that is given a green color, and those who were died out or expired, so they have marked as a red drops. So if the red drops is the number of the death rate will be increases, so the red drops will be increased, will be come out. So what happens? The prevalence rate will be goes down, decreases. Okay. If the cure rate is increased, suppose green, those are green in color, cure rate is increased. We have make number of green drops. Okay. Then that also be indicate the prevalence rate will be decreases. Okay, and so the by the increase in death rate or increase in cure rate, the prevalence rate will be decreases. So the prevalence means the burden of the community. So how much old and new both the cases are present in the community. In the same time, suppose we were opening the faucet and the water will be coming. So here water drop I have given blue color. So this indicating the incidence rate. Okay. So if you are open this faucet for a long time, so suppose we are opening for 5 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, so if durations is more, then the prevalence rate will be increases, that I have given a blue color, that is given. So the prevalence rate will be increases. Now the water level will be goes up. Okay, so the relation is indicating that prevalence is increases if the incidence and the duration of intervals. the I and D, incidence and the duration will be increases, the prevalence rate will be increases. So the formula will be prevalence is the product of incidence and the durations. Okay, so the prevalence will be increases if the incidence is increases, and duration for a long time, it will be the disease condition will be stay for a long time, then the prevalence rate will be increases. So that is the relationship between the prevalence and the incidence. For the better remember, so I have written as the PID, not for pelvic inflammatory disease. I have written for the P is equal to incidence and the multiplication incidence is multiplied by durations. So this is the formula for the easy remember. I have written PID. So by this is knowing this prevalence and the incidence rate, we will get the answer of few number of questions like that. Suppose survival rate will be increases. Survival rate is better treatment is provided, and the patient will be under treatment and survive. If the survival rate will be increases, what happen? The prevalence rate will be increased. Okay, and there is no effect on the incidence rate. There is no relation with it. If the death rate increases, suppose the death number of cases will be increases, and whatever the prevalence rate will be decreases, so the prevalence goes down. Okay. Similarly, if the cure rate is increases, number of patients will be take treatment, and after treatment there will be good result. They get a good result and discharge from the hospital. Similarly, so the recovery rate is increases, prevalence rate is goes down. There is no effect on the incidence rate. If vaccinated, if you provide the people of that community with vaccine, immunize them against COVID-19, and BCG vaccination is given on, and a number of vaccine that will be supplied by the WHO. If vaccinated them, then the what happen? The incidence rate decreases, and also the prevalence rate also decreases. So both the parameter prevalence and the incidence both goes down. Okay, so vaccinated is very important. If you put immunized people, you give the immunizations, that will be get better result. If we decrease the risk factor, so those are the risk factor by which our health is affected. So if we decrease that one, okay, if you decrease the risk factor, what happen? The prevalence rate will be decreases and the incidence rate will be decreases. So this tell about the prevention is better than care. So if which type of health service will be provided? We must provide the curative health services provided, preventive health services are provided, and the promotive health services are provided in our community. So which type of health services is applicable, or which type of health services is valuable to the community, that can be known by knowing the relationship between the prevalence and the incidence. Okay, so these are the things that were very much important for the epidemiological study, for any clinical study. So we should know the frequency and the disease cause of disease. So that will be understand by the incidence rate and the prevalence. Thank you for watching, and please keep on subscribing.